everybody. Coming at you from out in the wilderness. And we have who behind the camera?
Ayo.
Ayo, Nick. Alright. And keeping with the survival theme that I had a good run on the last video, I decided to pull out my survival jacket. Now, this is not a normal, ordinary jacket. It may kind of look like one, but it's not. It's a little bit more than that. There's a full survival kit, or at least almost a full survival kit, contained in this jacket, in the pockets and inside it. Now, this is another one of those grab and go type items. This is where, like I say, sometimes if you're prepared and you have a full kit, that's one thing. But if you just have to grab an item and go, that's another thing. Not to mention, this is just plain fun. So, try not to dilly-dally too much and talk too much like I did in the last video, because I have a lot to show you. But as you can see, I'm going to turn around here. Nick, does this just look like a plain jacket?
I thought it was your Michelin Man puff jacket.
No. What this is it was a part of a chemical suit that had a liner in it, and my brother pulled the charcoal liner out and washed it and decided he didn't want it, so he was going to throw it in the garbage, so I thought, I'll take it. And that was about 6 or 7 years ago, so I decided to modify it. So, this jacket, as you can see, has a liner in it. So let's just lay this thing down on the ground, and I'm going to take all the contents out of this jacket, and we're going to go through it. Alright, sound good?
Sounds good.
Alright, I got the video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and empty the contents of this jacket. And just kind of remember and pay attention of how much was in this jacket, what all fit in it, what came out of it. Alright, so this will just be like your typical jacket you wear in the fall or the spring. Probably wouldn't want to wear it in the summer. And I've got a few additions I'm going to show at the end of the video that are potential for this jacket to become a winter jacket. Okay, so let's take this jacket off. Alright, what we're going to do, we are going to lay it on the ground. Now see, this one's got zippers on it instead of buttons. And the pockets on the front here have these little bungee pulls on them. That right there is going to be relevant later on. I'll show you why. So there's nothing sewn on the back of the jacket, and in the future there may be a few additions on the back of the jacket. There may be some large pockets put on the back. But for now, let's take a peek at what is inside it. Alright, let's lay it out. You got a good view of that, Nick?
Yep.
Alright, now what we have in here is that mesh type material. And what I did is I found a bag at Goodwill, a big bag made out of this that was for football equipment. And so I bought it and cut it up, and I actually sewed it into this jacket as a liner. Alright. Now it's open right here, so this has the potential to where you could put more stuff in here. But right here, it has Velcro, a long strip of Velcro with the Velcro sewn in here. Now, what this is a Kochanski survival scarf. This is an item all in itself, but it is contained in the lining of this jacket, and it actually acts like extra insulation in the jacket, which is very cool. Now, something else that I want you to make note of. Take a look down here, Nick. If I would have just put this in there, it would have bunched up across the bottom. So what I did is I folded it over one of these mats, which is pretty cool, because not only...
What is this, a clown car? How much stuff are you going to pull out of that?
I will pull a lot out of it. Yes, it's a clown car jacket. But see, not only does this thing, you know, keep this from bunching up down at the bottom to where you're not warm here, you know, it supports it to keep it to where it's actual, like a lining. But this also gives you a mat to lay on. Alright? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull out the rest of the contents of this. There's one of them spiders.
Yeah, I just blew one off the tripod.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go over this thing right here. Now up in the top here, here's another pocket up at the top. I have made complete use of all the room available inside this jacket. And this is a tarp. Alright, and then over here at the side, I've got two pieces of reflective paracord, and over here at the other side, I have two more reflective pieces of paracord. Okay, alright, so there you go. You got a tarp for a shelter, roof, whatever. And then you've got your reflective paracord. Now, you have a large pocket here in the front. Can you see that pretty good from there, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay. We have large pockets in the front here. Now, there's no pockets down at the bottom, and that's okay, because on the inside of the jacket, the pocket goes all the way to the bottom, and I can put stuff down inside here. As a matter of fact, that tarp actually would have fit in there. See, but I'm reserving that for other use in the future, for more parts of a kit. But in the meantime, now what we have is these pockets are Velcroed, and we have a Mora. I think that's an Eldris, I think, with a ferro rod. So there's your knife and your ferro rod. And then we have, let's see, this is a very, very small bug net we have. And then in here we have a silky pocket boy. Very, very handy saw for whatever your chores you need to do. And there might have been a little bit more room in there. In this, we have a longer piece of paracord to match up with those four. Kind of like a, I don't know, like these will be guy lines, and that'll be a ridge line. And then of course in here we have a canteen, because you got to have some water. Canteen, it's always better with a Hidden Woodsman sticker.
Yep.
And then I think, let's see, there's another spider.
Yeah, those ants actually crawling all over the camera now.
Is there? Oh no, as long as they don't get on the lens. Now,
as long as they don't get on my hand, because I'm going to drop the camera.
Man, that's not good. Okay, now over here in the side pocket, we have some 1/4-inch rope. Right there. And a flashlight. Okay, doesn't hurt to have a flashlight. That's in the side pocket. Now let's look, see what we got in this other side pocket. We have 1/4-inch rope. I think that's all. All right. I really meant to put 2 flashlights in there, 1 in each pocket, because 2 is 1, 1 is none. Okay, so there's the loadout. That is what you have inside and outside of the survival jacket. Okay. Now some of this stuff right here, a tarp is always handy. You got to have water. You got cutting tools, sawing tools, paracord, rope. This is the multi-purpose item here. All right. So let's explore this. Okay.
Anything for mosquitoes in there?
Yes, I do.
Good, because I could use it.
Yeah, for me.
What about these ants on the camera? Because I'm staring at one right now.
No, nothing for ants.
Get off.
All right, now what this is you can see how I'm holding this thing up. This is a very large bag, okay, made out of ripstop nylon, and it has a net in it, okay. Now what this is called is a survival scarf, okay. The survival scarf was invented by a guy named Thomas Roycroft, and it's either Roy Croft or Roy Craft, I'm not sure. I've heard 2 different things, but anyway, he was a RCAF instructor. He was a civilian instructor for the Royal Canadian Air Force, and he invented this. He came up with the idea for this, and Morris Kochanski saw it and decided to start making them, and he kind of brought it to the public. He kind of popularized it. But what this is, and he said there's a bunch of different features, and you can't build it into all of them. But basically, and so what this is this is the lining of my jacket. Okay. Now, some of the uses with this thing is, first and foremost, like he said, it's a scarf that you can wear it. See, this can be independent of the jacket, or you can just wear it like that to protect around your neck. All right. The other thing that you can do with it is, if you don't have a hat, I'm trying to remember how you do this. I think you take it like this, and you lay it over your head, hanging down, and then you pull it around. Pull it around like that, and then you'll tuck it in your jacket right here, and then you put your jacket on, and then you cover this over like this, and you can stretch this around, and it's rain gear for your head.
Cool.
Okay. And this, you don't even have to tie it if you don't want to, but you can tie it here if you want to. Tie it like that right there to keep the cold rain from permeating your head. Now the other thing you can do is you can use it as a sash. What that means is you lay it on the ground, you'll take all of your kit. Let's just take a couple of things here. Whatever items that are going to be in your kit, you just kind of throw them in like that. Put them in about body width, and then you roll them up like this. And then you take it, and then you simply, I didn't roll the whole thing up, that fell out. Oops. So what you do then is you tie it around your body, and you carry it just like that. And in a sense what that does is you've got your bag that you're going to wear or sleep in, and you've got your kit tied up in it. Okay, so that's yet another use. And there's a whole bunch of other use. Morris Kochanski said there's about 60 uses, I think, for this. And he said with all the different uses, you just can't build them into all of them. So, now, let's see. Let's get rid of this, put this stuff back over here. We'll get back to that in a minute. All right,
Here in the creek nearby, can you use this to carry water too, probably?
you probably could.
Yeah.
Probably could. Now, more survival scarf. This thing, it's got a window in it, a net window. All right. So his was split on the back and overlapped to where the split was in the middle, but for me, I put the split on the bottom like a giant bag, and I decided to put this is 1/8 inch bungee. I think I just tangled it up. This stuff's curled. Okay, this stuff's curled up because it's still brand new. But what that is that's a bungee type material that's sewn in so that you can pull it tight. See how small that thing will become? And then you just take the cord lock on the bungee and pull it down. Therefore, this can be worn as a bug jacket. Now, as you can see, my pants are bloused in my boots. I've got everything on, but I don't have anything over my head. So if you're walking through an area with gnats and flies and bugs and mosquitoes, or even if you just want to sit against a tree, you put this over your head.
If you're me and you've got a t-shirt on, then guess what the mosquitoes are biting?
Yeah. Let's see if I can find this. There we go. All right, now it takes a minute, okay? Now if you wanted to,
I feel like I should make a meme with this picture.
Huh?
I feel like I should make a meme with this picture.
Can you see my face with this?
Yeah.
Okay, now look, see this thing's gone all the way down to my feet. But what you can do with it is, see, I'm going to pull this up with my hands, and see where this cord is? I grab the cord, and I pull the cord all the way up to my chest. Okay? See, I've got the cord. Can you see that where I've got this?
Yeah, now I can.
Huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, what I do is I pull this up to my chest right here, and I lock it down to my chest.
Where is it there?
So that nothing can get up inside here, and then I just let the bottom part drop down, and it's also for my hands. Okay. Now what you have to do is you have to kind of balance this thing around. You have to kind of balance this thing around to where the net, where you can see out of the net like that. And then see, you can just walk around like this.
Honestly, in all our years of filming, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
It's a multi-use piece. And I've got 2 more uses for it I haven't shown you.
Is this your Halloween costume? Alright, I'm going.
Alright, enough of that.
Alright, I'm leaving
yes,
at that
my Halloween
moment.
costume. Now the other thing that I'm going to show you.
Hey, I got a mosquito.
Alright, cool. Can you see from right there?
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing that I'm going to do is what you do is since I'm already in this thing.
Oh, that's what it is. You look like a giant crayon.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Now see that thing over there that you
That's
remember
even
that
worse.
You remember that mat? Dude,
Yeah.
what?
So now it looks even worse.
Shine over here for a minute.
turning on me.
Dump all that gear back right there on that jacket. So what you want to do now is you want to bring it up here to where you're like this. And you want to find a spot. And you want to lay this on the ground. Just like that. Alright. And you want from your head to your butt to be on that thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this all the way down.
Next season on Alone, I want to see every contestant using one of these.
Look, and I'm going to sit down on it without ripping it. Oh, just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it all the way and pull my feet inside. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull that bungee cord tight to where my feet are sealed up. And I'm completely sealed off in here, and I'm not worried about condensation.
Does this protect you from falling debris?
Give it a try. Now, if I had to keep this off of my face, I could take my boots off and put them on either side of my head here. All right. So, what about that, Nick? This was the lining of a jacket, and now I am completely protected from the bugs.
It probably looks better than a lot of stuff from the last video. I mean, if you don't mind about looks, then...
Oh, well, yeah.
Eh.
And then this is how you get out of it.
Doesn't have to be pretty to work.
Just like that. Now, the other thing, if push came to shove, okay, push came to shove, now, if it was raining, you've got a tarp and you got paracord. Find you a spot to put the tarp up first, and then lay this on the ground and lay under it. Okay? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Alright, now, let's move on to the next use. Yeah, there's one more use that I wanted to show. Okay?
Sound good?
You good? Now, for the other use, you can take this or any piece of material and turn it into a hammock. Okay? As long as you got the rope. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you the knot that you use for it twice. So what you do is you bunch it up. Well, first off, let's do this. First off, let's put this rope around this tree, and we'll tighten it up later. But for now, I just want to put this rope around the tree so that I can show you how this is, how the hammock knot is done. That ought to hold. All right, now I'm going to show you this. The way you do this is you bunch it up. Okay, can you see from there, or do you need to be closer?
No, I can see pretty good.
All right.
Yeah.
I need to be on this side. All right, what you want to do is you want to bunch up some of the material, and you take the rope, all right, and you wrap the rope around it. Okay, just like that. So all I did is just one loop, just like that. Now what you want to do is this that's hanging out, you want to pull it forward, and then you're going to wrap this around once, twice, 3 times, and then 4 times. And then what you're going to do is the original loop that you just made. Now, say I just wrapped this thing around right here 4 times. And the original loop that you got right here, what you want to do is make a loop and put it through it. And then you're going to pull it that way. You see what that does? See, that tightens everything up. And then I'll show you in a minute how to get that out of there. So what you want to do now is you want to choke up on this thing like this. You want to choke up on this thing. Probably about right there. Just take the excessive rope, wrap it around the tree. Now, this thing's going to stretch a little bit. that around. Go around a couple of times. And right there. So, we got about that amount. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this other rope, we're going to do this other end. Now you got to make sure this thing ain't all wadded up. You want to make sure that you can actually sit in it. You want to make sure it's got a bow to it like that. So you're going to bunch it up just like that so that it actually looks like a hammock. Now where'd that rope go? Stupid camo rope. Always hiding.
I don't really know. Oh.
So let's try this. Pull out some of this rope. Throw that other end up over that tree right there. Get it out of the water. Alright, let's come over here. I'm going to try to show you again. Alright, what you want to do, lay the rope over, just like that. Alright. And then flip it over.
You have a mosquito on your forehead?
I do. Alright. Okay, I got the rope flipped over, and then you want to take the excessive material and flip it over. And then you want to wrap it around. One. Look, I didn't do enough rope. You have to have enough rope to do this. That's enough. Alright, so I've got the rope around there like that. You want to wrap 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the original loop, pull that rope back through. Just like that. We'll give it a good tightening up. Now what I'm going to do, now I haven't done this yet, so I don't know how much it's going to droop. So, let's go around this. I hope this tree here is substantial enough to hold it. So what I'm going to do, it's going to droop really bad, so I'm going to stretch it kind of tight here.
I don't know, but you're going to test it first.
Yeah, of course I am. You want me to test it on camera?
Of course I do.
Alright. Like I said, I don't know how...
Whatever happens, we'll let you know if you need to tie more knots around it.
I always have people complaining about people using rope, but this is like a very improvised method of doing this. Very, very improvised.
Well, yeah, you're using your Halloween crayon costume as a hammock.
That's right. Alright, now I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully this will be strong enough that it'll hold me up. Now this is an untested theory. Alright.
Yep, seeing it right here on camera. Does it hold?
Oh, if it rips, it rips. I'll have to make another one for the future video. Now this, I can already tell this is going to be too short. Look at that. I don't know if this is even worth doing or not. I need to find a branch here. Let's
Kinda
see.
short.
Hey, there's one right there. Let's look right here a minute. Yeah, this may be too short. This may ruin the hammock thing, that sense of it. It's about maybe a foot taller than that. Oh, it'll be barely. I don't know if it will or not. Let's sit in it and see. I bet it's going to touch the ground. Yeah, it's stretching real bad.
Is that slipping?
Let me tie it up higher.
I think that's...
Let's try this.
I think that was
again.
slipping.
Let's try this again. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, that thing, I stretched the heck out of it like that. Alright, so let's try this again. Like I said, this is all untested stuff.
Maybe only lay in it if you absolutely have to.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just made this thing. This is brand new. I'm just now testing it.
How good are your sewing skills? About to find out.
About to find out.
Well, you already kind of sat in it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I sat in it, but you know.
You
The
just had
thing
to
is,
tie it up higher.
That's not going to stretch as much as this rope is. That's the problem. You know what? Let's go back around the tree again. Go around it a couple of times. Alright, now, let's see if we're getting somewhere. Alright, it may be up too high now. See, this thing, it's not very wide. See that? This may not work, but let's give it a try. Oh. Let's see, where's my head? Right here. You have to kind of pull it up around your shoulders. Now, see my feet, Nick? Well, let's see if it'll hold my weight before I go and do this again. Look at that. All right, I'm off the ground. Okay.
There you go.
Now, this, we learn together. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is not long enough. Okay. So, what does that tell you? In the future, what we're going to have to do is this has got to be longer. Okay. It's going to have to be a whole lot longer because the hammock thing with this particular survival scarf is a no-go. But it didn't rip, it held up. And once I sat in it and it stretched the ropes down, and then I retied it, pulled the ropes tight, we're good to go. Okay, so the next survival scarf needs to be about 1 foot wider and about 2 feet longer if I want to have the hammock capabilities. Now I want to look at one other thing. What I'm doing now is I'm going to put the guy line up because I just want to kind of get an idea on this tarp here if the length of it's going to be right.
I don't know if you can see that over there.
Now I'm not going to bother doing the guy lines, but the guy lines are each 12 feet, and I'm thinking, let's see if the tarp length is right. Because I may have to modify the tarp too. Yeah, see, the tarp is about right. The length of the tarp is about right.
Oops.
For this hammock. Is that sun bothering you, Nick, or can you see me okay?
Oh, I can see okay.
Okay. But, and see what I do now is I got that paracord line there, and then the 12-foot reflective lines, all you got to do is pull them out, and then you'll have your tarp roof. Okay. But I'm not going to bother setting them up because right now this is not a viable option. So if I make a longer one of them, I'm going to have to put in a bigger tarp to cover the length of it. Oh, one more thing. Let me show you real quick. For the survival jacket, I had mentioned that these pulls here have the little thing right here, and I don't forget what they're called. Somebody told me one time. They're the little elastic things that women used to put ponytails in, ponytail holders, I guess. All you got to do is take them off of it, and those become your drip rings. See right there? For whenever it rains, see that right there? The rain will come down the rope, and when it hits that, it'll drip off on the ground. Now this thing right here was for if it's in the summertime and you don't want to be on the ground. Of course you can be because you're completely sealed up with this. You'll have, this is a bug net you can wear, which I bet Nick would like to have right now.
Yes, I would very much like it. You
can either see through it or you can turn it around back. And so you just sleep like this and the bugs won't mess with you. Okay. Alright, so that's pretty much it, but I have one other thing that I'm going to show you and discuss that I have to put some thought into before I do it. Okay?
Cool.
Alright, so there is the survival jacket. Okay? Right now that's all the lining it has in it, but whenever you're carrying your equipment, you have a liner. Now, in the future, I got to thinking about as far as a winter option, is there a way of putting a big pocket on the back here that I could carry a blanket? Well, what's better than a blanket? The old noggin got to thinking. What I got to thinking is during the winter, why don't I just wear a vest inside it? Okay, as a liner. Okay, so once I have that on, this is as good as a blanket. Okay, because it's insulation. Now here's the other thing that I thought about. Okay, my legs. How do I keep my legs warm? These things I thought about, is there some kind of a way of packing these in? But then I thought about, this is a vest. So what I thought about is this thing has an actual factory split right down the middle. Now I haven't decided completely yet. But what I'm thinking about doing is splitting that and putting in Velcro, because I would have 2 sleeves then. How about that?
Well,
See, I could put one on this side, and it's like right now, I had originally wondered if I could just stretch it across my back, but I don't think I can, the way it's made. See, I can't, that's holding it up. I would have to split it apart, but see,
typically people don't put pants on their arms.
No, they don't. But I mean, like I said, this is survival.
Just
Survival's
typically.
ugly. But you see, that way I would have, this would be like a double insulated vest. And see, there's plenty of room right here for that. And see, that way it would make it a winter option right there. See?
Cool.
All right. Now there's plenty other options that are going to be, and thoughts that are going to be with this thing. And once I think I have it perfected, then that's when I'm going to take it out and spend the night in it. And there'll be some options for some food or protein bars. Maybe a water filter, maybe some kind of a device for boiling. Now let's look at one other thing while you're here. Let's take a peek at this. I want to see, carry that camera over here, and let's see if these knots will come undone easily. Come over here a little closer.
Look, I have a tripod today, so.
What? Alright. Alright, you ready? We're going to see if this knot comes undone. Okay?
You really want it to if you're laying on it?
Well, no, it didn't. It held my weight up. Remember, I was off the ground, but the material is not wide enough, really. Well, if it was that wide, if it was longer, I could have allowed it to cut myself in. Okay, so let's see if we can pull this thing. There it goes. One pull, and see how tight that knot was?
Mm-hmm.
And then all you got to do is undo it. Just like that. Just like it came apart. See? There's your loop. There it is. See? No damage to the fabric. And you want to put this on the bottom. You don't want to lay on this part. So, there's the survival scarf. Let's see if I can undo this other end with ease. Can you see it from there?
Yeah.
Give it a pull. Right there, just like that. Nothing to it. Then it comes straight across the fabric. I need to get my little frame stopper thing. So let's take a look at it. And there you go. No damage. Got the nice bungee cord on the end. Pull it up. Alright, so that's about it. That's pretty much all I wanted to show. Now, here's the thing. Everything I do, everything I invent, I create, I design is pretty much always a work in progress. And like I say, we are smarter than me. So if you have any suggestions for the jacket, any additions, I'm open. I'm all for it. One other thing I wanted to try over here on the ground before we go. But there's room for pockets here. I thought about putting a Mora here and a Silky here. And then there's, the whole back is wide open. I don't know if that could be a pouch for a blanket, or maybe a large saw or an axe, or maybe a pouch for food, but we'll find out. So any suggestions you have, suggest them. Let's take one more look over there real quick. I forget something along the way, but one of the options when you're laying on the ground, okay, is I got to wondering about this. Since I got this massive liner inside here, I got to wondering, can I, let's see, turn this thing into itself just like that. There you go. Pillow. Now what I need to do is across the bottom I need to put another piece of Velcro so that I can pull that over and Velcro it up. See, there's me a pillow right there. And see, when I crawl inside, I'll have that thing with me. And that is my pillow. Ain't that neat?
Cool.
All right, so that's it. That is the survival jacket. Has a lot of potential, and I think what I'm gonna do now that I know that this is a viable option, I think I'm gonna make another one with another liner for Nick so that we'll both have them. And I think it's a great idea. I bought this Velcro here by the foot. I can't remember how many yards I got. But anyway, that's it. Oh me. All right, well, I hope you had fun. I hope this is very eye-opening. Hope you learned something. I hope I've inspired you to create things.
Yeah.
Remember, any comments are welcome. Anything you think would be cool to add. Like I said, this is all vacant real estate on the back. I could have one big giant pocket, or I could have 3 pockets, or I could have 2 little pockets. You know, whatever y'all think needs to be put on there. Pretty much all the real estate on the inside is taken. So that's it. Anything you want to add, Nick?
No.
All right.
Your giant crayon acts pretty good.
It is pretty cool.
A little longer, and yeah, I think it would actually last up as a hammock.
Yep. Well, yeah.
I don't know about permanently, but
just to tell everybody, just to show everybody, okay? I'm 5'10", and see this thing? See how high it is? It's about touching the ground. It's probably what? What do you think? 7 foot, probably.
6 and.
Okay. Well, I think the new one needs to be 9 feet.
I don't know.
The new one needs to be 9 feet. Okay, and it ain't gonna be that much more material. All right. So.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good to me. Sometimes when I do these videos on subjects like the survival jacket, where there's all these different features built in, I'll forget something, and I forgot a very, very important feature of this thing, or should I say use, and that is what's called a browse bed, which is very, very handy. Okay, and what you do simply with a browse bed is where you just unroll it, and you fill the inside of it up with leaves or grass, and you just make a nice padded bed. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about is this is brand new. Okay, I just made this, and the length of it was perfect for a survival scarf, for wearing it kind of like a sleeping bag or a bivy sack. But the hammock was an idea that I'd always wanted to try, and the hammock thing, I think after some thought, I'm going to make another one, because I've got 12 feet more material. This is like a darker hunter green, and then I've got more of this netting, and that kind of got me to thinking something else. What I'm going to do is, I thought about just having 2 separate jackets now. So I want to show you one thing on that real quick. See, now with this thing, as it is, it could be used as a winter option or a fall option. Crawl inside of it, fill it full of leaves, or even wear the insulation like I was talking about inside it. Okay. So what I'm thinking about doing is just leaving this inside here and having this the cold weather survival jacket, and because this is like a kind of a heavy cotton. And then what I thought about doing is, since I was going to make another one and make it about, I don't know, 10, 11, maybe even 12 feet long for a hammock, what I was going to do with it is just make a different jacket for it for hot weather, see, and just have 2 of them. And this goes along with what I was saying about the options are just endless. And I don't think anybody's really explored a survival jacket or a survival shirt as much to the depths that I plan on it. But like this thing right here, this already has 4 pockets. It just needs some sort of a lining of some kind, or maybe even a giant pocket on the back. But this is a ripstop 50-50 cotton polyester. This may be a more viable option, and in exploring, I may even wind up going with some sort of just a civilian shirt of some kind, you know, as thin as this thing is. So like I said, this is will work. This and the survival jacket will work the way it is, and then I'm going to work on the longer one for a hammock. So, alright, that should be it. Like I said, any suggestions, anything you think you want to add or think could be done better, just let me know. Take care, enjoy life, and we shall. See you in the next one.
See you later.